Good morning, everybody. My name is Chu Kawei Ophelia, and today I would like to make a brief introduction on my topics that is GM food can lead to a better life. First of all, I would like to ask all of you, if in your childhood, have you ever painted some strawberry into blue color in your art lessons in your kindergarten? For me, I have. And also, there are some very many imaginations of changing the shape of different fruits or mix up the shapes of the different fruits into one organisms. And those childless imagination have now become true, and it is not imagination anymore. First of all, and then I would like to talk about the content of my presentation. And first is the introduction of the GM food, how it's produced, and then the argument on the GM food. And then why is the GM food is success in all over the world, and the future approach, and then a little conclusion in my presentation. And what is GM food? GM food really refers to genetic modification, that is a kind of genetic engineering. Just refer to a simple picture that is representing what is genetic engineering. And just using a scissor, that is in scientific term, it is a restriction enzyme to cut the DNA chain, and then addition or deletion of the DNA chain, whatever you like, and then just using the sticky end of, this is the characteristic of DNA, to stimulate again, and then a new chain of DNA is made. And for the scientific definition, GM food is the introduction of Chinese gene, that is the foreign gene that is not belongs to the original types of the organisms, and into the wild type of the organisms, and which is aims to give new characteristics to the organisms, and that is a new organisms since then. And afterward, this is a simple graphical illustration explaining how is the GM plant is produced in the laboratory sections. And this is the red part is the foreign DNA, and the plasmid is one kind of something called a kind of DNA. And after that is implanted to the original plant chromosome. And then after some growth in the laboratory, and then finally resulted in a GM plant. And since the development of the GM food, there are many arguments in the GM food since the appearance of the GM food in this century. And one of the greatest concerns of the public must be the safety concern. That is why this is because a doctor in England that proposed a research paper on in 1999 quoted Dr. Evan. He said the virus used in the GM production can cause high risk in the colon cancer. And however, from the information I have read, there is no reports on adverse effects have found up to now because of the consumption of GM food using the genetical engineering techniques. Then, why is GM food success in all over the world, that you can find in every big or small supermarket or wet market? This is because one of the great benefits of the GM food is yield improvement. And besides increasing the profit for the farmer that putting the same effort on their work, and also enhance the food security. Because of the scientists, they said the world population will be increased in double in the future, and the food demand will be increased also. So GM food, it seems only to be the only solution to solve the food demand problem in the world. And also it solves many agricultural problems such as the flooding and also insect residents, and also for the environment, it also the reduction of the use of the pesticide also help the world environment. And also the most important for us is to prolong the shelf life that can convenient for us to store our food. Besides economic benefit, anything else? And I would like to talk to you about a possible future approach of GM food. And GM food is not a dead end, but also a chance for our future. It can improve our human health and also maybe a possible cure for the liver disease. And so that we believe that it can cause a better life in our human beings in the future. That is why, because from some information said that one of the possible future approach is the nutraceutical metabolites. Nutraceuticals is one kind of words that come from nutrients and the pharmaceutical, and that is a specific dietary components that usually found in plants. And those metabolites may be very little amount in those plants. But however, through the GM technologies can cause the increase of contents of those metabolites, and that those may be possible to prevent or control a particular disease or disorder. And also, plant vaccines is also one of the possible approach in the future, and that it is the combination of medical science and also the plant biology, and it take the vaccines in more mass production that aims to help the patients, especially in the poor countries, so that they can afford the expensive vaccines in the future. And in conclusion, GM food investigation is not a dead end and stop at the increasing the yield and some benefits I mentioned before, but also valuable in the future because of the future approach just mentioned about before. And we believe that GM food is possible to change our life in the future. And the only concern is only the establishment of the GM food safe assessment in the future to sweep off the public concern on safety issues in the world of the people. That's all for my presentation.